Corvallis, Oregon, where the Oregon State Beavers, number 10 in the nation, led by two-time Olympic gold medalist Jade Cary, and they're here for another tri-meet. Some old friends, the Washington Huskies, now part of the Big Ten. They're in town. Alaska Anchorage here for the second time in 4 days, and it's all here on Pac-12 Insider, YouTube, and the Women's Sports Network. And hi, everybody. Along with Elisa Mao, I'm Rich Burke. Oregon State head coach Tanya Chaplin says their goal is the top 8, the NCAA championships, and right now they're progressing really well.
They're sitting at 10th right now, which I think is a great place to be because they still have so much room to grow. They've yet to hit that perfect meet, and you want to hit that perfect meet the first weekend in April at the NCAA Regionals, which the top 8 teams then qualify to the national championships, a place they haven't been since 2019. Now, Jade Cary's been as an individual the last 4 years, and I know in her senior season she wants to have her team aside her on the floor.
Yeah, she wants them all to go. Now, on Friday, she had a 39.675, which would put her 7th best in the country, if not for the 39.875 earlier in the season.
And she is so meticulous in her quest for perfection. And so what she's doing is each practice, she watches the film and she decides what things she wants to adjust. On Friday, she adjusted her series on beam. She adjusted things on bars as well because she really is seeking out the first perfect 10 of her senior season. Could tonight be the night?
Could tonight be the night? How about Sage Thompson? Friday night was a great night for her. She won bars.
She has been so fantastic throughout her career on bars. Friday night, they adjusted her routine as well to see if she could yield a higher score, and she does with that 9.9 career high. Where I've been impressed with Sage as well is her tumbling has gotten so much cleaner. She drops out of the sky. She also tried out that new vault on Friday night.
Really fun to watch. How about Washington's Taylor Russin? 9.925 on bars against UCLA. That was a career high. Here you see her in warm-ups earlier today.
Taylor is so important to this Husky team. Really depleted lineup, only 9 healthy competitors. So she is so important for them, not only on bars where she leads the team, but also on beam where she is so fantastic, and floor as well. Such an important senior leader for the Huskies.
Yeah, interesting point you made. Under first-year head coach Jessica Hanson-Parker, the Huskies only have 9 healthy gymnasts. 7 are out with injury. Jade Cary of the Beavers. The Dogs and Wolves are here as well. A tri-meet coming right up. Another good crowd expected on this Monday evening here at legendary Gill Coliseum. Oregon State, Washington, and Alaska Anchorage. A tri-meet. We're approaching the midway point of the season, and there is the rotation order. Oregon State will go in Olympic order, starting off on vault, then bars, beam, and floor. Washington started off on bars, then beam, floor, and they'll circle back to vault. Alaska Anchorage will start things on floor, then vault, bars, and beam. Tanya Chaplin, the head coach of the Oregon State Beavers, now in her 28th season. 2022 Pac-12 Coach of the Year. Won it for the 6th time. 22 and 23, Oregon State won their first 2 regular season conference titles. And they have done an excellent job selling tickets. Season ticket sales record for 4th straight year. Marie-Sophie Bagash is the head coach of Alaska Anchorage in her 4th season. Former bush pilot in Alaska. She graduated from Alaska Anchorage with a degree in aviation technology, and then 5 years as a bush pilot prior to coming back to the place where she was a gymnast, and now is the head coach, and again in her 5th season. Most of our telecasts feature 2 teams, and on those shows with alternating coverage of the teams and only 1 gymnast performing at a time, we give both teams equal time. Tonight, 3 teams competing. They'll be performing at the same time in 3 different events. So we're focusing on the home team, Oregon State, and we'll show Washington and Alaska Anchorage as time allows. And Washington under first-year head coach Jessa Hansen-Parker. First year after 4 years as an assistant at her alma mater, Iowa. Helped the Hawkeyes to their first ever Big Ten championship in 2021 and their first ever regional final in 2022. One-time club teammate of 2008 Olympic gold medalist Shawn Johnson. And again, dealt a rough go this year when almost half of her gymnasts are out with an injury. 7 are out. She has 9 active gymnasts. And we're getting set for Natalie Briones to begin the vault rotation for Oregon State. She salutes the judges in the crowd, and here she goes. Friday led off with a 9.75, at a season high 9.85 3 weeks ago.
Natalie starts with the Yurchenko layout. Full, beautifully done. That vault is out of a 9.9. That's the, 9.95. That's the maximum score that it can get. She's been so consistent for them in the lead off because she is so clean. Just that hop back, pretty sizable, probably a 10th or 2 as you see Caitlin McWilliams for the Huskies on bars. A good start thus far. Hard to see the handstands from this angle. Looked good on the high bar. They had 5 of 6 stick on Friday. Didn't get the stick today, but a great start for the Huskies on bars.
And Sophia Esposito will be second after that nice start by Natalie Briones. Esposito Friday had a 9.825. In the previous home meet 3 weeks ago, a career high 9.925.
Sophia is so powerful on vault. She will also do that Yurchenko full today that we saw from Briones. She did a double in club. She's capable of a 1.5, has so many tricks up her sleeve. Vault coach Jade Cary has a really specific training plan. They need to make a certain number of vaults each week in order to decide which one they put in the lineup.
And like all of Oregon State's lineups, they're tough to crack.
Really tough to crack, and also they really closely decide to take the risk vault or do the clean option like that. She has excellent form and toe point in the air. It's a differentiator for her. She pulled in a little bit, which means when she left the table here, you can see that she breaks her shoulder angle while she's still on the vault. So that limits a little bit of her height and distance, which still, I mean, it was beautifully done, had a great straight body in the air, but that's just a little tweak she could make to go even better, even higher.
Yeah, you could tell in the air she was landing closer to the table than she probably wanted. Big, deep breath for Caitlin Garcia. She gets ready to go 3rd for Oregon State. By the way, the opening score for Natalie Briones was a 9.8. Half a 10th off her season high 3 weeks ago.
I think the big deep breath for her is because she is trying that 1.5 vault. She's been consistently in the lineup in her career. Super powerful. but has really refined this vault. The 1.5 is so much more difficult because you land facing forward. And so you don't have the luxury of spotting the ground as you come down to get the landing.
So here it is, 10-0 start value. She's carded 9.775s each of the past 3 meets. That's her high this year.
Important for her to get a strong block like she does there and finds the landing.
That'll be her best this year, Caitlin Garcia.
That was absolutely fantastic. Love to see it in the competition like this. I saw her do some great ones in warm-ups. A little bit of legs in the air, but wow.
When you say legs in the air, you mean some separation.
Legs, yep, right there. You can see it, and the judges can see that from the side. Leg separation off the table and a little bit on the way down.
But the landing was a dart.
Landing was absolutely fantastic there. That's where she struggled a little bit with that lower 9.8. That should be up in the high 9.8s at least. We'll see. Oh, looks like both judges go 9.9. Awesome.
9.9, a new career high for Caitlin Garcia on vault by a 1/2 tenth.
Yeah, that was special, and that's exactly what the Beavers need to do when they want to get as high up in those 197s as they can, which means they need to average over 9.85 for each counting athlete.
Averaging 9.85 would put you at 197 for the entire meet for the 3rd time this year. Here's Carly Chavez, also has a vault with a 10-0 start value. 2 meets ago at Auburn at a career high 9.9.
That was her debut on this vault. Last week, not as good. She'll do that full and a half in the tucked position, needs to get a big block here. And then, oh, unfortunately, that left knee looks like it had an issue on the landing. Her legs were not bent enough to absorb that. You hate to see that at any point in the meet. Those forward landings, like I said, so hard to know where you are in the air, to be able to land it carefully. Really, really hard to see this. She is one of the heart and soul of this team. And yeah, just when you land with your legs straight right now like that, there is so much pressure, momentum as you're flipping and twisting in the air like that. So she's up off the mat. That's unfortunately going to be a fall for them. She's also in their floor lineup. So wishing her the best.
Brian Carey, assistant coach, helping Carly Chavez off. Tanya Chaplin going to have to rethink things for the floor lineup.
And Sage Thompson in a really tricky spot here. Looks like she is going to just do the full today if the number that they've put up to indicate what vault she'll be doing. She did the 1.5 on Friday. Again, it's a risk reward decision they have to make each time, because if you don't nail the 1.5, it's hard to get that high score.
She's gotten better each meet. On Friday, a 9.85, her best so far.
Exceptional full. You can see she is such a powerful vaulter. The distance she got coupled with the height is really due to her great technique on the vault here. Really good form, stretched hips.
And so important after Chavez's fall for her to hit that, which is why they went with a full and not the 1.5. How difficult is it when you've been practicing that 1.5 so much to go back to the full?
The technique is different, but I think mentally, if you haven't done that many in competition, it becomes a little bit more, you put more pressure on it, even though she can physically definitely handle the vault. There's so much pressure on these athletes to stick the landing on these, and that is so hard. They make it look so easy. And so I'm just really glad to see her nail that.
Lily Applegard, 9.670 average on bars. Newport Beach, California native.
She's part of that great Husky lineup on Friday that Went 49.3. She does a great landing there. Caught her Jaeger release move a little close to the bar. She had to bend her arms, so that will be a deduction.
Opa guard with her bars retained. Jade Cary getting set to go after the 9.775 for Sage Thompson. Jade's high this year on vault, 9.9, 3 of the last 4 meets.
She has yet to stick this 1.5 vault. Excellent. That was the smallest of hops. I would say a 1/2 hop. And I mean, that vault, I mean, obviously she's an Olympic medalist. She's a world champion. She is so technically sound on this, but the technique is different from the full, the 1.5, the double, the 2.5 that she's done. And just, that was nearly as good as we've seen her on the landing. In slow-mo, you can see some tiny leg separations. The judges probably can't see that in real time, but it just shows you how incredibly powerful she is. Tanya Chaplin said they took 2 steps out of her run because she's so powerful. They need to slow her down to be able to
she was starting from a shorter point.
Yep, exactly. That's very rare to do that.
Getting ready for Olivia Buckner and her exhibition, awaiting the score of Jade Cary, whose season high is 9.9. Is that a 1/4 tenth better, what we just saw, do you think?
I do think so. Yeah, in comparison.
1/4 tenth worse. They give her a 9.875.
Yeah, I think what's hard is that I want to see differentiation, and I think that vault was better than Caitlin Garcia's, even though Caitlin stuck the landing.
There's Olivia Buckner in her exhibition.
You see a 1.5 from her as well, and you could see her shoulder angle on the table was just too bent for her to get the height and rotation that she needed, but we have seen her nail that vault before.
Yes, we have. She struggled also on Friday, didn't quite sit, but had a 9.225.
Yeah, it's important for her to just get out there and keep working it. We know she can do it, just has to find it when it counts.
49.125 for Oregon State on vault is a 1/4 tenth better than they had on Friday. Best wishes to Carly Chavez with the apparent left knee injury having to be carried off. And Thompson and Cary come through so they don't have to count a fall. Taylor Russin, this is moments ago.
Watch the height on her Jaeger somersault here. Beautifully done, connected to the overshoot.
I love that Jaeger somersault.
She just has meticulous form and a beautiful handstand position. Her double layout coming up and just a small step back.
Had a 9.925 on bars against UCLA on Friday. And she had a 9.825 in the anchor position there.
Yeah, love to see that high 9.8 from Kristen Lynn. That's a season high for her. Those 9.8s, really important. The Huskies are best on bars and beam. They really need to get some separation or get some high scores on those 2 events. Vault has been a bit of a struggle for them. They really are sitting in the mid-30s right now in the rankings. You have to be in the top 36 to qualify for regionals. They need to do some improving there in these last couple meets.
Hannah Boyd just wrapping up her floor routine for Alaska Anchorage, the freshman from Plymouth, Minnesota. Had a season high floor exercise here in her freshman year on Friday. Actually, it was 2 meets ago. 9.75, had a 9.475 on Friday.
Been really impressed watching Hannah Boyd in warm-ups. She competes all around as a freshman, has a nice diversity of skills throughout her performances.
A couple of meets ago, had a 37.775 in all-around. First career all-around win.
Alaska known for fun and interesting choreography on floor. They really sell their dance.
Ariana D'Souza chatting with the assistant coach, Kristen McFeeters.
That last name should sound familiar to Pac-12 gymnastics fans. Her sister Nevaeh was an incredible competitor at Cal.
Nevaeh D'Souza, gymnast at Cal 2020 to 2023. All Pac-12 first team in the all-around. Oriana, the junior from Fairfield, California, Vacaville High School. At a season high on Friday, 9.775 on floor. She is 5th in the lineup, with the anchor Montana Fairbairn to follow.
First pass coming up, that front double. Nice height. That's an E element. Gets her 2/10 bonus.
E being the most difficult.
E being the most difficult. We go from A to E. The gymnast's score starts at a 9.4, so they need to build up 6/10 of bonus in addition to completing a number of special requirements like this leap connection right there. Good precision on those turning elements. I want a little bit sharper pointed toes. Floor is an important balance of the tumbling and the leaps. You'll often see a couple extra leap passes if she'll only do 2 tumbling passes. We'll see pass number 2 here. 1.5 front full, nice and difficult. Good job controlling the landing, went right into the corner but did not step out. That gets her a lot of bonus.
Oriana D'Souza.
Really good difficulty and nice landings on those difficult passes.
Again at a season high 9.775 on Friday. Have a look back at Kristen Lynn's bars routine.
I mentioned at the top that Washington does a lot of same bar releases. College gymnastics bars can look a little bit compulsory with the Maloney to Pac, but I love these same bar releases come up here, and her Ginger gets great height, always with a little bit of leg separation, so that's a built-in deduction that she always has. But it's high, it's beautiful, exquisite handstand, and she does a full in, nails it.
Love it. That was their best, a 9.875.
And her career high, she was coming back from some injuries and is slowly making her way into 3 lineups. I saw her do a walk-through on floor as well, a dance through, if you will. And so important, again, for the Huskies to keep getting routines back in the lineup with so few athletes on their bench.
Making sure every hair is in place for Montana Fairbairn, senior from Strathmore, Alberta. Season career high floor exercise 9.85. She's done that 2 times. At a 9.8 on Friday. And it's an entertaining routine.
She is such a powerful athlete on all events. Also just a beautiful, really engaging performer.
Doing a little conversing with herself prior to saluting the judges in the crowd.
Everyone has their own weighted pre-routine routine.
Here's Montana Fairbairn.
She'll start with some front tumbling here, front layout. We'll do a Rudy with 1.5 twists. Excellent landing. And that actually counts as her back tumbling pass. You have to tumble forwards and backwards. Not the most difficult. You do need 3 A moves in your routine, so she'll count 1 there. Switch full to a straddle jump. A little imprecise on that straddle jump. the worm.
Don't they?
Disco. Thrown up the seawall before she finishes with more front tumbling to the full. Excellent landing. She joined the team right when they nearly lost their funding, were in jeopardy of the program going away. And they all banded together, college gymnastics banded together to keep the program alive so we could enjoy routines like that from Montana Fairbairn.
Good anchor routine for Fairbairn, the senior from Alberta.
So she does lots of front tumbling, front layout into the front full. At the end, when she's tired, it can be tricky on those bounding passes to make sure you're in the correct position to get enough height and rotation. She was just performed like the savvy vet she is. Great job.
Won gold on floor at the Canada Winter Games in 2019. First gymnast from Alberta to do that in 12 years.
And Alaska is putting up an awesome floor set so far. No scores under 9.65.
And now an exhibition for Madeline Gomez. Gomez, a junior from Dixon, California. Dixon High School, one of the many that we see from Dream Extreme Gymnastics.
Yeah, didn't compete on Friday. Those 2 meet weekends, when you've got just the 2 days in between, are important. And every team tries to do that at some point within their season to help prepare for the regional and the national championships. You've got those 2 meets with a day in between. So good to get your mind and your body ready for those. And also test some depth. Alaska does a lot of those, however, more than any other team because they have to travel pretty far to the mainland to have meets like this.
Have to take advantage of those travel miles. So Madeline Gomez, after some final words of encouragement from floor coach Kendra McFeeters, set to go to work.
If I'm a college gymnast, I would love to go to a meet at Alaska.
Wouldn't that be a blast?
Winter, come on. Great score, 9.725 for Fairbairn. It looks like we're going to have a conference, however.
Benny is enjoying what he's seen so far. What conference? And prior to the exhibition routine for Madeline Gomez for Alaska Anchorage.
It's a tough position to be in when you're waiting. I talked about the pre-routine routine that some athletes have that are very specific about, you know, you do your affirmations or you talk to your teammate or certain things. And so there's a judges conference that can throw that off. Some athletes want to be distracted during that time. Some athletes want to be alone. Some athletes are, you know, really specific about how they want this time to be. She's seemed to be contemplating this on her own. Her coach coming over probably to give her a last few moments, or excuse me, encouraging words.
That's the head coach, Marie-Sophie Bagash. Diverts her way behind Gomez as it looks like we're just about set to go. Again, big moment for her. Exhibition, chance to move into the lineup.
She has competed for them before, has a 9.75 career high, just hasn't been up for a while.
You talked about the nice score for Montana Fairbairn. It's so easy for you and me watching the likes of Oregon State and Jade Cary all the time to forget that a score in the 9.7s, that is a fantastic routine.
It's a great routine. It's a great score. It shows you how meticulous and challenging gymnastics is.
This is Madeline Gomez.
First pass, the Rudy to the stag jump. Get as much as 3/10 bonus when you connect the tumbling with the dance. Ring jump full there on those ring leaps. You'll see those throughout the competition. The judges want to see their back foot nearly kick yourself in the head. They want to see what's called closure on that. Make a square, essentially, from your back leg to your head. Very unnatural, but that's gymnastics, right?
A lot of it's unnatural.
Yep.
The fact that a human being can do what Madeline Gomez is about to do on this tumbling pass, or any tumbling pass, is remarkable.
Absolutely. Sets up for her last one. 1.5. Front layout. Goes out of bounds, but had a little bit of trouble with that in warm-up, so really great to see her get it in the meet.
1 foot out of bounds, 1/10 deduction?
Exactly. 1/10 for each foot that goes over the line.
Nice exhibition routine for Gomez. Junior from Dixon, California.
Let's check out that ring jump full again that I mentioned. So right there, you want to have her foot nearly kick her head. So they would probably give her a deduction there for insufficient closure. But that's a challenging jump you don't see often. Since she only had 2 tumbling passes, she had to up the difficulty in the leaps.
So Alaska done with their floor rotation. They included the exhibitions, and we have 1 rotation in the books. And Oregon State on vault, Washington on bars had the exact same score, 49-125. And for Oregon State, at 49-125, better than their average, and a 1/4 of a tenth better than what they had on Friday. Not quite as good as their high this year, 49-275. 48-625 for Alaska Anchorage on floor. And that is their best this year. Previous high was 48-45. So congratulations to the Seawolves.
Really great start for them.
And Caitlin Garcia went 3rd in the vault lineup and had a 9-9. It's a new career high. 49-1-2-5 for Oregon State on vault. Likewise for Washington on bars. So those two teams dead even. One rotation in the books. Crowd enjoying themselves on the concourse here at 75-year-old Gill Coliseum. Some weekend headlines. How about Maya Lazan racking up the 4th perfect 10 in the nation this year. Got it on floor for Cal against Stanford. And then Arkansas, number 15 in the country. They upset second-ranked Florida. Arkansas 197-175. Gators had to count a fall on Beam. Selena Harris suffered a fall there. And how about Morgan Price at NAIA Fisk University from Nashville, Tennessee? A perfect 10 on bars. The first perfect 10 in HBCU history. Historically black colleges and universities. And they will be here on March the 21st.
Yeah, really great to see the Beavers add a meet that weekend. That's conference championship weekend. And as there are no other teams right now in the Pac-12, they were without a meet that weekend. And it's important because almost every other team will be competing that weekend. And you want to have as many scores available to you as possible to put that national qualifying score together. So great for them to add Fisk. Their head coach and Tanya used to compete together. One of their assistant coaches was a Beaver gymnast, and just going to be really special to get to see Fisk, a young team, and then also a phenomenal team with Morgan Price.
Exactly. You saw the rankings there. Oregon State number 10 right now. Just about 8/10 out of, or 8/100 out of 9th place. And there's the Oregon State bars lineup. Savannah Miller going to go on bars. Last went 2 weeks ago at Auburn for the first time this year. She'd exhibitioned a couple of times, posted 9-7 in the leadoff role at Auburn, and she will lead off this one again. And then she'll, as usual, be the floor leadoff. Coming up later on, Francesca Casso led it off on Friday. She'll go 3rd in the order here tonight.
Michael Chaplin said they took the bye week to really try to hone in on the little details on bars, and said it's been a really fun contest to see what that leadoff position is going to be like. So Casso and Carly Beeman and Savannah Miller have each had a chance to go in that leadoff position. Leadoff is so important. We talk about it on every event, but really sets the tone for your lineup, and whether they should or not, the scores tend to rise throughout the rotation. And so
if you're leading it off, you're getting the short into the stick a lot of the time.
You definitely
Because the judges
are.
feel like they have to leave somewhere for them to go.
Right. But it's similar to baseball. You want your leadoff to get on base, right? So you can get them home. You want your leadoff on bars to get a solid score that the judges then are comparing from. Again, they should not do that. They should judge the routine at hand, but also scores are to help differentiate between routines. And so if she can start them off really strong, she has a good career high. If she can get that, then you tend to see the scores rise from there.
Here comes Savannah Miller, junior from Waterford, Michigan. Got a 9-7 in the leadoff role at Auburn a couple of weeks ago.
She will do this Maloney in connection. Good toe point, arms a little bit bent on the backswing, and unfortunately catches that pack low as well. So a little bit of a labored swing. We'll get some rhythm deductions on both of those low bar elements, but has a big double layout. Very nice extension and a beautiful landing. Does take a hop back, doesn't show perfect control there at the end. The judges want you to freeze in place. You need to show control there, or they can give you a 0.5 deduction on this dismount. But watch in the air and the height that she gets. You want to see the flipping happen at the height of the bar, which it does there. Chest up well, and you know, Brian Carey just happened to be in the way there, so couldn't see exactly if she stuck the landing or not. And sometimes the coaches stand in very specific places on the landings. Not at all saying Brian was doing that, but other college coaches have been known to do that, to maybe obstruct a little bit.
Okay. Natalie Briones getting set to go as we await the score of Savannah Miller, who had a 9-7 on her only other competitive routine. And so we'll see if Miller's best that. Briones, meanwhile, posted a 9.775, going second in the lineup on Friday. Season high a 9.85. It's a 9.775 for Savannah Miller. So 3/4 of a tenth better than her previous go-round a couple of weeks ago at Auburn. And now Natalie Briones.
Natalie's a very dynamic swinger. You'll see her do the same routine that we just saw from Miller. So the toe on is really open on those handstands, and a beautiful backswing out of that Maloney. And a great job saving that half pirouette. You can see her back was arched a little bit, but used her exceptional strength to pull it over. And a good handstand. Here's her double layout. See if she can get the landing. A hop forward, but an improvement over Miller.
And how much of a deduction is that hop forward?
That hop forward can be anywhere from 1/2 to, I would say that's going to be a 1/2 for the hop forward, but also probably a 1/10 for her chest being down.
Emily Ennis had a season high 9.875 on beam in week 1 for the Huskies. Since then, 2 other scores of 9.8 and 9.75. Junior from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, she's been in the leadoff all season because she is so consistent for them. I know she would score higher later in the lineup, but of any position, leadoff on beam is the one that you need to be rock solid. And her shoulders were off there on that side aerial, but you could not tell at all because she just snapped her arms down. Her leap series here, so confident. I like how she finesses beam.
Career high 9.9.
She really tumbles into this dismount. A good extension on her roundoff, and is awesome at finding that landing. Good lead off.
I love it. Her head coach, Jessa Hansen-Parker, loves it. And now we get set for Francesca Casso after a pair of 9.775s for Miller and Briones. Casso Friday had a 9.825, matching her season high.
Francesca has really pretty toe point and extension through her legs. Good handstands thus far. And the Van Leeuwen well caught. Again, these handstands are gorgeous. That full pirouette to the open double tuck and just the step back. But that routine has changed a couple times throughout her career, and this seems to be one she's settling into beautifully. Those handstand positions throughout were really dialed in.
And you need to get within 10 degrees for full marks.
And she is right at the top. I like to just take my pen and hold it up on top of the bar to see if she lines up, and does.
That fist pump from Michael Chaplin. And this is a lineup where Oregon State needs to improve. 17th in the nation on vault, 16th on bars. By the time they get to beam, they're 3rd in the country, and floor 7th in the country. If they're making top 8, vault and bars have to get better.
Yep, and you can see this is a new lineup for them today. DeVries is in the exhibition spot because this is the time to adjust and play with it and see what combinations of lineups score the best.
10th in the country. Tanya Chaplin wants her team to get the NCAA championships for the first time since 2019, when they were 2nd at the regional they hosted and 6th at the NCAAs, their highest finish ever under Tanya. They would have made the Super 6 if it had still existed. And how about the 9.875 for Francesca Casso, just 1/4 of a tenth off her career high. That is her season high.
A great score to get this lineup back on track. And McMillan also has stunning lines, great handstand positions, and this bail is excellent.
McMillan going 4th in the lineup. Definitely want to cross a red line for one of those 9.775s.
This double layout can sometimes be a little rounded at the end, but does a good job holding on to the landing. I saw a hop in place from here. We don't have the best view of the bar landing, so we'll take a look at that again. But from the beginning, her Maloney is exceptional. You can see why she's later in the lineup. It is just textbook bars, very little deductions, but does pike down that double layout quite a bit. And so that will be a deduction when her hips bend. Essentially, when you're in a layout position, your body should be as straight as possible, your hips as flat as your anatomy can allow. And judges can be pretty particular on those double layouts.
We'll see Jennifer on beam in the next rotation. She gets a 9.85. And now Hannah Boyd, the freshman from Plymouth, Minnesota, getting ready to go to work on her vault.
Vault's an event that they struggle on a bit compared to the others. She'll do the Yurchenko layout full vault.
She's in the upper right.
Sage Thompson with a new routine. She debuted on Friday, so adding that Maloney back to the pack. Gorgeous handstand positions and technique. She has such phenomenal fundamentals, does Sage. Arms are always straight.
And the pink Leo, her dismount, and she nails it. Sage Thompson.
Yeah, very, very nice. She has few built-in deductions. I talked about those, meaning that the gymnast can't perform without some sort of deduction.
Taylor Russin live with her beam routine.
I love her triple series there. She's coming up after Olivia Oppegard fell, so lots of pressure on the rest of the lineup. Check out that ring position. We talked about that on the floor. Her foot, I think, basically grazed her ponytail.
I was
Great
going to say,
position.
I need a helmet.
This, again, no one you want in this position more than this fifth year. Not only is she a phenomenal athlete, she's getting her master's in informatics at UW, has a internship at Amazon lined up when she is done. And just the hop forward. Great job for Taylor Russin to get them back on track. Beautiful routine. Big score for Sage Thompson as well, 9.925.
Yes. Won the event on Friday with a season high 9.9. 9.925 now for Thompson. And here is Jade Cary.
Her routine.
Jade had a 9.85 below her standards on Friday.
New routine. She also did on Friday, so this is just a pack salto. I say just. It's beautifully done. And then here's her Van Leeuwen between the bars. Excellent form. Good handstand. And at this point, everything she does is flawless. If she finds the landing, oh, just the tiniest of chest movement there. So while her feet hardly slid, that is a deduction when she has to adjust her toes a little bit to maintain the landing. Shoulders forward.
Had a season high 9.975 3 weeks ago here at home.
It is just remarkable to watch her continued improvement and continued refinement of
And her continued
everything.
love for this sport.
Absolutely.
After everything she's done.
And it is just remarkable every time I talk to Tanya before a meet. I ask, what's Jade gonna try this week? What is Jade working on? What has Jade seen this week that she wants to improve on?
And you talk about all the videos she watches and things she wants to change. It's like the perfect combination of art and science.
Yep, and she's not just mailing in her senior season. She is clearly one of the most talented gymnasts in the world, has been for the last 6 years, I would say, and just continues to try to get better,
And she gets a
refine her
9.9.
craft.
49.325 for Oregon State on bars. And that is a 1/4 of a tenth off their high this year, set in week 4 at home. Now Taylor DeVries in an exhibition, the first of 2 with Carly Beeman to follow.
And she is an exquisite bar worker, but just has been a little bit off this season. She caught that pack a little bit close, so there'll be a rhythm deduction, but she has gorgeous lines, and I love how she winds up into this double layout. Unfortunately, let's go a little bit early. When you see the bar ping like that when a gymnast releases and sort of shake in place, that's indicative of them releasing too early. which is why she was a little under-rotated and took the hop forward. But, I mean, what a bar routine to have in your exhibition spot.
Mary McDonough's dismount.
Love that double fold that Mary McDonough does. She's a taller athlete and twists so fast. Has been a little bit inconsistent, but just a sophomore, and has been thrust into competing in the all-around based on their lack of depth. Watch this double fold. Excellent.
And if you're just joining us, Washington has 7 gymnasts out because of injury. They only have 9 available. So some gymnasts are being stretched into some events that they might not otherwise do.
Yep. And she was always predicted to be an all-arounder for the Huskies, out with injury a little bit last season.
Here's Carly Beeman. Exhibition done Friday, had a 9.675. Has competed 1 bars routine this year, 4 weeks ago against BYU, 9.75.
Just a stunning look on bars. Talk about the backswing, having good form, good arms. One differentiator on bars as well is seeing if gymnasts' arms bend. And really exceptional stalter position here into her double tuck. And a slide and a hop back. So that's going to be at least half tenth for the hop and a 10th for the step. And also, you can get a deduction for being too close to the high bar on your landing. So she got a little bit close in there on that double tuck.
What's more pressure, exhibitioning, trying to make the next lineup, or actually being in the lineup?
You know, I think it's going to be tough because you really want to make that lineup. But once you're in, gymnasts talk about the difference between competing in club, which is very individual, and competing in college, where you are competing for your team.
Yes.
And the pressure of that is interesting to transition to for a lot of athletes.
Chelsea Hallinan, 5th in the lineup for Washington on beam. Sophomore from Silverdale, Washington, Central Kitsap High School. And Kristen Lynn will follow her.
Chelsea is their beam queen, according to Coach Hanson Parker. She went 9.9 career high on Friday. It's the only event she competes, only event she trains.
Led off on beam every meet last year. Got a pair of 9.9s.
Front aerial here, and I like her technique on the beat jump that should be connected out of this. Just a little bit wider than a lot of beat jumps you see. No extra score, I just like it, looks different.
One of those 9.9s last year in her freshman season came right here in this building.
She's good at finding the landing usually. Oh, a little bit short. I don't like how straight her legs were on that landing. I really want to see them absorb, especially on those twisting landings, the forward-looking landings. This 1.5 didn't get the most push off the beam. So really, you know, I hold up Emily Ennis's 1.5 dismount as the gold standard because she tumbles on the beam like she does on the floor, which is terrifying. And so you can see gymnasts will alter their round off into that dismount a little bit. Hers was a little flat, which resulted in that hop.
Head coach Jessa Hanson Parker in her first year, replacing Jen Llewellyn, who left in June to take the head job at Iowa. And Jessa then came from her alma mater, Iowa, to be the head coach at Washington. Conversing with Kristen Lynn prior to her anchoring their beam rotation. Had a fall from Olivia Opegard. So extra pressure on Kristen Lynn to avoid counting a fall. Washington this year, in their first meet, they counted a fall on beam, ended up 194.8. Their second meet had to count a fall on bars and floor, 194.05. In their third meet, they counted a fall on bars, 194.975. Haven't counted the fall the last 2 meets. Now, of course, 6 gymnasts go, and you take your 5 highest scores. So if there's just 1 fall, you don't have to count it.
And this is just Kristen's 3rd time competing beam ever She fell in her debut a couple weeks ago, but hit last Friday. This is important here, and good fight to stay on, but she just was a little bit off in her hips, but you can tell if you're nervous based on how you recover from a small error, so needs to just breathe, take a deep breath.
That wobble a couple of tenths? Wobble
will be probably 3 to 4 tenths. These beam judges thus far are being pretty stingy, I have to say, with Russin only going 9.775. Important leap series here. Switch leap to the switch half.
Now, this is Washington's usual best rotation, 16th in the country on balance beam.
Goes good dismount, but that big step back. So it's going to be a lower score. I also think she needed to connect that beat jump into the leap series, so she could be missing some bonus, but she stayed on. So that's important. It's important for the team's morale, but yeah, lacked a little bit of height and just not the best beam rotation for the Huskies. Need to really put it together on floor.
Kristen Lynn's third competitive beam routine. Now the team getting some encouragement from Parker. He brings a bright spirit and attitude to this Huskies gymnastics team in her first year. Oregon State a 49.325 on bars. Their average coming in 49.1, so they're getting better and better. We're joined by associate head coach Michael Chaplin. And Michael, you got continued improvement in each of these lineups. Going back to that bars rotation, did you like what you saw?
Yeah, they did a great job. You know, we tried to stay clean on our handstands and would have liked a few more sticks, but overall it was a great job, solid score, and kind of keep that momentum going.
Sage Thompson does that new look routine, second meet in a row, wins bar second time. Beautiful routine. Can you talk about that progression there?
Yeah, so we've been talking. Sage actually, you know, was doing a Ginger before, but it's a more difficult routine, but that she was doing. But sometimes the judges could deduct a little bit for her Ginger, I guess. But so we went back to a more of a kind of a stock clean routine that she's really, really good at and executes really, really well. And I think it's starting to pay off for her. She has a lot of confidence right now, and that's great to see.
What do you feel like you have to do to reach that goal and make the top 8?
Well, I think we just got to keep building. You know, the team has been getting a little better each week. We had 2 meets home this week. We're about to go on the road now for four weekends. That's going to be a great test for us because we're going to go up with some good competition, and that's when we'll really find out what we're made of and feel like we can compete with anybody. But we'll definitely find out on the road.
So we know beam is Tanya's domain. What kind of a beam watcher are you? Are you really one that wants to watch every routine, or do you need to sit in the back?
I try to stay back a little bit, but I watch and I breathe. I learned a long time ago my job is to never make my energy bad for them. So I try to relax as much as I can, enjoy it. Tanya's a phenomenal coach on beam. We're ranked 3rd in the country. And so I just try to lay back and enjoy and watch the great performances on beam.
Deep breaths, right, Coach?
100%.
So you guys averaged 4,600 fans last year. This year's season ticket sales record for the 4th consecutive year. How much of a boost do you get from this crowd here at Gill Coliseum?
Oh, it's fantastic. We're super excited. We've always had great fans here at Oregon State, and so I think everybody's really realizing that we have tons of energy, a great program, and they want to come out and support, and Beaver Nation shows up and does that, so we're super lucky.
Michael, always enjoyed the conversation with you. Really like this team you've put together, led by Jade Cary. Continued success, and would love to see you at the National Championship.
We'll see you there. Go Bees.
All right, that's Michael Chaplin, and they're looking to make it to the postseason for the 50th straight year and trying to get into that Final 8 for the first time since 2019. Well, on Friday, Oregon State hit 197 for the second time this year, and they're actually 0.2 ahead of pace as they head in to their beam routines. The third-ranked team in the country on beam, Oregon State. Their highs of 49.575 a couple of weeks ago against Auburn, averaging 49.3. And Sophia Esposito getting some final counsel from Tanya Chaplin. Esposito, sophomore from Melville, New York. She had a 9.775 on vault. She'll lead it off, then Buckner and Lech, McMillan, Gonzalez, and Cary.
So their last away meet at Auburn, they went lights out to get their season high, 49.575. And it was a ruckus, distracted, loud crowd. And Tanya asked them about it, and no one said, they were like, we couldn't even hear them.
They're in their bubble.
They're in their bubble. It's the mark of a strong beam team, is that their mental preparation is truly one of a kind, or I guess 3 of a kind, with ranked number 3 in the country. And Sophia, right away, this combination here, one of the most difficult in college gymnastics, the split to the switch leap to the switch split to the layout step out.
Looks so easy.
It's effortless. I botched even describing it, let alone how she nailed it right there. And it's so difficult that it gets her almost all the bonus that she needs. So she just does the layout here. Gorgeous flight series. She'll do her full turn, the requirement, and then she'll dismount, because that first series there gets her so much bonus. And then also this double twist. Watch her height. Excellent.
I love it. Sophia Esposito leading off their beam rotation.
She's one who tumbles off the end of the beam like that to get that height. So here's that 3-move combination. The switch leap to the switch split leap off of 2 feet, and then the layout step out. Just so clean, so smooth. And here's that double twist. A little, I don't like how far from the end of the beam she was, but she's so high. Nails the landing, but the staggered feet there, that is a deduction.
Career high is 9.9 last year in week 3. Last couple of meets, missed that by 1/4 tenth.
And Caitlin Williams ends with a very nice double pike for the Huskies. Floor is an event where I think they have much more potential than we've seen in their scores. Oregon State tends to be a little bit of a higher scoring environment on floor, so we'll see if the Huskies can benefit from that.
Huskies in the lower right. And Olivia Buckner, who exhibitioned on vault, getting ready to go second in the competitive beam lineup. She had improved every meet until Friday. A couple of meets ago, had a career high tying 9.9. Then on Friday, a 9.75, matching her lowest this year. So Buckner, good beam worker, looking for a bit of a bounce back. Still awaiting the score of Sophia Esposito.
Olivia has a very calm presence on beam. Very steady.
Was a 9.875 for Esposito. And that's the 3rd consecutive 9.875 she's posted. Very solid. 1/4 tenth off her career high. Just what you need, getting on base in that leadoff role.
Yeah, and 9.875 is an awesome place to start. It would be wonderful to see the scores just continue to rise from there. Flight series coming up. Back handspring layout step out. Beautiful.
They're magical on beam, this team.
And they have so many different styles. She's so fluid. Some gymnasts are really sharp and aggressive, and she is just the same speed, so calm. Good position on the ring jump.
Riverton, Utah native Olivia Buckner, 5-time USA Gymnastics Utah State champion.
Side aerial. All that's left is her dismount here. She does a back handspring into her 1.5. Got to get some push off the beam to find the landing.
And she did.
Nice job holding on to it. Beautiful routine from
Her
Olivia
career high's a
Buckner.
9.9.
Yeah, really solid competitor. Here's this dismount. We talk about it's hard to generate momentum out of that. Does just enough to nail the landing. And celebrates accordingly. Really great job.
Good start to their beam lineup for Esposito and Buckner. And here's Olivia Oppegaard and her floor routine for the Huskies.
Olivia, one who has 2 passes, so has some extra leaps there. You saw that Torchete ring half. Has great artistry. Jessa Hansen-Parker said they really work hard on her floor presence, but presence in sport is something that's genetic. Her aunt is Michelle Kwan. Her dad was a Olympic medal winning figure skater. She lacks a little bit of the high-powered tumbling, but you can get as much bonus and difficulty out of those leaps as you can from the big tumbling.
Olivia Oppegaard, Washington, floor lineup, 43rd in the country, averaging 48.78. Again, they've got 7 gymnasts out with injury, and so they're only competing 9 gymnasts tonight. Lauren Letch going through her final mental choreography after the 9.825 for Olivia Buckner, 3/4 of a tenth off her career high. Letch had a season low 9.7 on Friday, returning to the lineup this year after missing all of last year because of a heart issue. Has twice registered 9.9 this year.
Off the bat, difficult front to back, front aerial to the back tuck. Excellent continuity. It's so important that the gymnast doesn't move, but also, or doesn't stop moving between, but also can't have any bobbles or foot movements. And she really is the exemplar for how to do the front to back connections. Also these leaps beyond 180, just stunning.
And that ring leap, you could see her heel getting up near that ponytail.
Absolutely, and to do that on balance beam, just so challenging to take your eyes off. Her beam really is such that you could snap a picture at any point. Her toe point is exquisite, great extension.
And such great flow.
And such beautiful flow, and so great. Friday's beam, you know, 9.7 would be fine for a lot of people, but that's low for Lauren Letch. So good to see her get back to where we expect her to be. Watch the extension on that split jump, and then the ring, beautiful. And just so inspirational to have her back in the lineup.
Same heart condition as Olympic swimming legend Katie Ledecky. POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Reduced volume of blood returns to your heart after you stand up from lying down. Lightheadedness, accelerated heart rate. That was her last year. Didn't compete at all and didn't know if she'd ever compete again.
What a remarkable story of resilience for Lauren Letch. Jamila, watch her piked Jaeger. Oh no! It was, I saw her nail it throughout warm-up, and that pike Jaeger, you often see the Jaeger in the straddle position. That is only worth a D. The pike Jaeger worth an E, and so the reason she hopped on the bar there is because she intended to connect the Jaeger right to the overshoot.
This is Jamelia Duffus, sophomore from Kingston, Jamaica for Alaska Anchorage.
You can tell she has great potential and has the chops on bars. When she puts it together, that is a big score.
Yeah, I believe it. Transfer from Talladega. And now we get set for Jennifer McMillan's beam routine. 3 weeks ago, she matched her career high with a 9.9. Since then has put up a pair of solid 9.85s. Lauren Letch, a 9.85. Back on the beam, pardon the pun, after the season low 9.7 on Friday for Letch.
I love a good beam pun.
Don't we all?
She'll She'll also do a front to back connection here. Front toss to the swing down. So smooth. Again, with the different styles and type of beam workers. She's not one who you see doing huge deep breaths or talking to herself. She just has the mental cues. Just a solo switch leap there. Very pretty.
Born in the Dominican Republic, moved to Charlotte, North Carolina.
On that double stag ring where both your front and back leg is bent, I still want to see a 180 position. She was a little bit shy, but awesome. This Beaver beam lineup, they really are special.
And when you consider the fact that her club coaches once told her that when she got to college, she should focus on other events, and here she is in the 4th slot on the number 3 team in the country on beam.
And with a phenomenal hairstyle as well to match their pink out with the heart. She's just an exceptional beam worker, also on bars, and has the ability to be on vault and floor. That's how competitive these lineups are.
And that's nothing against her club coaches. They were probably advising her what they thought was best. Hey, focus on other events and you can excel on them. And here they've asked her to be a beam worker and she's excelling here.
Yep, Southeastern Gym is her club from Charlotte. They have produced so many phenomenal college athletes, and Jennifer McMillan certainly among them. Also, a business administration major, minoring in French and Spanish.
And Spanish.
So impressive.
Sydney Gonzalez getting ready to go. Gonzalez, another one who had her season end because of injury. She was in the first 5 meets last year, then had a ruptured Achilles tendon. So they're happy to have her along with Lauren Letch back in the lineup. And Sydney's gotten better each meet. 9.775s each of the first 2 weeks, then a 9.8, followed by consecutive 9.925s.
And Alyssa Manley there from Alaska Anchorage, beautiful bar routine, has great form. And Keira Bolden and the Huskies, all last 2 scores over 9.8.
Alaska Anchorage upper right. Manley, the junior from Albuquerque. And in the pink leotard for Oregon State, Sydney Gonzalez, graduate student from Newport Beach, California.
Here's her front to back, front aerial to the back tuck. She is so good at making that connection and finding that stick on that connection. So great to have both her and Lauren Letch back in the beam lineup. The senior veteran experience they have in this lineup. Why they're scoring so high.
For McMillan, it was a 9.875, and that was a 1/4 of a tenth shy of her career high.
Side aerial coming up in connection. It looked like she was right on, but you gotta really finish those positions. Switch leap to split jump connection. Good split positions. And she'll do her front gainer full off the side here as well, just like we saw from Lauren Letch. And just the tiniest hop in place, but 5 for 5 so far for the Beavers, as we've come to expect.
With Jade Cary to follow.
Not a bad closer.
Sydney Gonzalez will await her score.
One of many sister combinations that have competed at Oregon State. Her sister Lexi preceded Sydney on the team.
Sydney's club coach, Whitney Watson, a former Beaver gymnast, primarily a vaulter, 2007 through 2010.
Tanya's talking to Jade right now about the connection in her flight series, which Jade reintroduced on Friday. She'll do the front aerial into the back handspring layout. If the front aerial's on, she makes a lot of adjustments in real time as well.
She loves to tinker, doesn't she?
She loves to tinker. The best can do that in real time. You know your gymnastics so well that she can make those adjustments.
Look at all the 9.975s you have. Remember the judges, and there are a pair of them in these meets. They judge in half a tenth increments. So in each one of these cases, she got a 10 from one of the two judges and a 9.95 from the other one. And it's happened 3 times on beam.
That one at Auburn, she said she felt a different level of pressure because the entire lineup not only had nailed it before her, they'd all stuck their landings. And so she said she felt even more pressure. And to get a 10 from one judge on the road at Auburn, really impressive.
9.75 for Gonzalez. And now Jade Cary, let's watch her do her thing, seeking her first perfect 10 this year.
She's the country's leader on this event.
9.975s each of the last 3 meets.
Coming up here is that front aerial. We'll see if she connects it into the back handspring layout. Beautiful connection and a flawless landing. Because she did that difficult connection, she'll just do a little bit of an easier series. The leaps there, she took out the switch half in favor of just the split jump. And a gainer full away from yet another flawless routine by Jade Cary, but unfortunately takes a hop back on that gainer full. So in my estimation, won't be a 10. You want to see her absorb that gainer full to nail in the stick. But yeah, I mean, how fortunate are we to be in the time of Jade Cary? You could see she came up and had a slight hip adjustment on that, but does such a good job covering it up. And, you know, I don't know if the judges are being super picky. I don't know how much her feet actually lifted up and moved, or if it was just her pulling her heels together, which the gymnasts are required to do that. Everybody in the building thought she was going to get a 10 on Friday, and she didn't get it. Got a 9.975. I've seen it that maybe some people think maybe she bends her arms a little bit on her back handspring, so she goes 9.9 today. 9.9 even. 9.9 even today. Okay, we'll take a closer look at this gainer full. Perfect in the air. And yeah, I do think the feet lifted up enough. That was not a stick. In the old days of the college stick. The 9.9 is her low this year. That's preposterous. But that's just Jade Cary things. 49.325 is half a tenth off of what they did on Friday. And the 49.325 is 5/1000th shy of their average. So the number 3 team in the country, not going to damage their average. It just won't go up. This is Mia Heather in exhibition doing a gorgeous front toss to swing down, just like we saw from Jennifer McMillan. Watch the extension in her toe point. It's great flexibility in her ankle. Wolf turn. Sophomore from San Francisco, has never been in the competitive lineup. She exhibitioned on January 17th here, had a 9.85, and again at home 3 nights ago, a 9.65. Switch half to the split, to the beat, good connection. You know, 15 of their 24 routines tonight are from seniors. So next year, these underclassmen are really going to be called upon for the Beavers, and Mia Heather will slot in beautifully to this beam lineup. There's her pike, and nails the landing. Emily Ennis, one of the best floor workers in the country. Such a powerful tumbler. She won the NCAA regional title on floor last year. Coach Jeffrey, assistant Langenstein in the corner there, is their floor coach, choreographer. Watch the stretch jump out of this Rudy, just to show you how much power she has, that she can just bound out of that. Beautiful job.
And she celebrates with her Huskies teammates. Washington now part of the Big Ten. And again, ranked 35th in the country coming into this one, a team that's beset by injuries to 7 different gymnasts. And now Sophia Kaludis, a freshman from Huntington, New York, getting ready for her exhibition routine on beam. 3-time New York State champion, 2-time regional champion. She's never competed. But in week 1 in Oceanside, California, she was told that morning she'd be in the beam lineup because Sophia Esposito wasn't going to be able to go. And just before the rotation, it was determined that Esposito could go. Kaludis was warmed up and ready, but handled it like a veteran when she found out she wasn't in.
How many teams have 2 Sophias from New York on them that are beam studs?
We've already seen Sophia Esposito. This is Sophia Kaludis.
2 switch leaps.
To music from Cage the Elephant, which I love. Cigarette Daydreams.
At home, they get to pick their beam songs. On the road, it's typically whatever the home team wants to do. Some like to distract the opposing team, excuse me. Very smooth thus far. A little bit of leg bend on that series. That's what we'd call a built-in deduction. Can be up to 2/10, both on the back handspring and the layout, and unfortunately off to the side on that side aerial.
Learning moment for Sophia Kaludis. As you mentioned, she's someone they're going to need next year with the graduation of so many athletes.
That half twisting split jump done sideways. You don't often see it jumping sideways because it's way harder. You are unable to spot the beam as well. Good height on the 1.5. Lacked a little bit of rotation, but great potential to continue the run of awesome beam workers at Oregon State.
And they have had those under Tanya Chaplin, to be sure. And again, ranked 3rd in the country on beam coming into this one. 49.325. Again, that's 5/1000th off of their average of 49.33. And their next 4 meets will be on the road. Next week, they will be at the Denver Quad. That'll be on Sunday. Ball State, Denver, and Texas Women's University will be there. And then in a couple of weeks at the Metroplex Challenge in Fort Worth, same site as the NCAAs. Then they'll be at the Stanford Quad coming up on February the 28th, Stanford, Cal, and UC Davis. And then for good measure, the following week on the road at San Jose State. So with national qualifying scores getting ready to come out, 3 of your scores have to be from road meets. And these next 4 weeks really important for Oregon State.
Yeah, when the national qualifying rankings come out, they will drop quite a bit in the rankings from where they are right now because of the low road scores that they have, or the one low road score that first week, the 195.775. Now, I have no doubt they will go to the Denver Quad and get right back up into the 197s where they have been. But it's always interesting to see how dramatically the rankings adjust from the averages that they are calculated on right now to the NQS that will happen when as each team gets to their 6 scores.
Oregon State leading by 9/10 of a point. That's equivalent to about a 10-point lead in football. And with 147.775 right now, they need 49.225 on floor to hit 197 for the 2nd time in 4 days and for the 3rd time this year. And they're getting ready to entertain the crowd in between rotations. Jade and her teammates.
Hard to believe there's just 2 home meets left for these fans to enjoy Jade Cary.
You mentioned it earlier, Elisa. There are certain times when you have to be in the moment and realize you are seeing something remarkable that will be talked about for a long time. Rather like Travis Bazzano, the top overall pick for the Beavers in the Major League Baseball draft last year. That young woman right there, Jade Cary, will look back and say, we saw her do what she did.
Absolutely. I heard someone talking about it out while I was getting lunch today and said, oh, I'm leaving early to take my daughter to the meet tonight because she wants to see Jade Cary. It's a really special thing. And the rise of NIL, good or bad, there's a lot of opinions on all the sides, but what it's done for college gymnastics is allowed these elites to extend their careers and come to college when oftentimes, you know, very few of them have lucrative marketing opportunities in elite even, but in college, they've got so much opportunity and potential now, which is why you see the likes, you know, Suni Lee was at Auburn, you've got Jordan Childs, you have Leanne Wong, you have Kalia Lincoln, you have Joss Robertson, you have so many Olympians. That's just the U.S. Olympians that, you know, college gymnastics has done an awesome job both of marketing their Olympians as well, leading to the rise in attendance.
That they have. We have the Gold Over America Tour led by Simone Biles, and Jade Cary was on that tour after the Olympics, and the Golden Girls winning it in Paris. She's part of this Oregon State team. Beavers need a 49.225 to hit 197 in their final rotation. So far, 147.775 for Oregon State. And they need a 49.225. You see they've adjusted Washington's score, 146.925. Oregon State needs the 49.225 in the final rotation to hit 197 for the second time in 4 days and for the third time this year.
Yeah, Huskies season high floor total for them. They did a really nice job, which is important because vault is their lowest scoring event.
Yeah, their previous high on floor was 49.175. And Carly Chavez, after the apparent left knee injury on vault, is out of the lineup. Taylor DeVries slots right into that second slot in the floor rotation, and she has competed on floor just once in her collegiate career. More on her in a moment. First of all, we'll start things off with Savannah Miller, the Beavers' usual floor leadoff. Had a season high 9.87 on Friday. Also was on bars earlier this meet. For the second time this year, had a 9.775.
She is super powerful. Check out the height on these tumbling passes. Opens up. That's exactly what you want to do. Gave the judge a little nod, like you saw that, right?
Does a wink help?
You never know. Floor coach Katie Anakel has done a phenomenal job this week. They worked on various performance dance challenges, but also said their focus was on keep it up and step it up. Find where you can raise the bar. Those 3 tumbling passes, very nice control. I like how high up she works on toe as well.
Oregon State, 3rd in the country on beam, 7th in the country on floor, averaging 49.315.
Closes with a double tuck. Big deep breath. Again, the height. Excellent. A little bit of a bigger lunge. Could get a slight deduction on control there, but exactly what you want in your leadoff.
So powerful. Savannah Miller, here's the pass, and then a little look at the judge.
Double pike, great toe point, and then, yep. Engagement with the audience, engagement with your teammates, with the judges, just shows that you are so confident, you've got so much control.
And present.
And exactly, and presence. That just shows her mastery of floor.
To hit 197, Oregon State, with their 5 counting scores, need to average 9.85 in this floor rotation. Here's Kristen Lynn and her vault for Washington.
All your Chinko fulls in this Husky lineup. An awesome stick.
That was just moments ago.
We saw her stick her bar dismount and also nails the vault.
Sophomore from Santa Clara, California, and the Kings Academy. So here's Taylor DeVries. She was expected to exhibition on floor, but in the wake of the injury to Carly Chavez, here she is, 2nd in the lineup. Opening meet this year, she competed on floor for the first time in her collegiate career at a 9.65.
Difficult combination here of the 1.5, but to a front full and out of bounds there. So 1/10, you saw the yellow flag go up. She was a little bit crooked, which is what led her out of bounds there. More front tumbling here. We'll do a Rudy, 1.5 twists. Much better landing, but a little bit of crossed feet in the air. Nice precision on her leaps. Lots of twisting in this routine. She closes with a 2.5 twist. Hard to end with. And a good job saving that, the step over deduction, and good job to crawl away from the white line there. Close in the corner, you can see she tries to avoid it on her way up as well.
Former bar specialist Taylor DeVries, her 2nd competitive collegiate floor routine.
So you can see her twisting, got the legs crossed, and then does a crossover step there, but really good awareness to know how close she is to the white line.
And she sold it well, Taylor DeVries. And this is the vault of Emily Ennis, the junior from Pittsburgh.
We saw how powerful she is on floor and again on vault. She was leadoff. They moved her down in the lineup to get her scores up where they should be. Again, it should not matter where you are in the lineup, but scores tend to rise. With all fulls in the lineup with the 995 start value for the Huskies, those landings are very important.
Sage Thompson going third. By the way, Savannah Miller leading it off. Matched her career high with a 9-9 on floor. The 8th time she's done it, and the first time since last year's Pac-12 championships. Awaiting the score of Taylor DeVries, and then Sage Thompson has posted a career high tying 9-9 each of the last 2 home meets, including 3 nights ago. Now carded the 9-9 on floor 3 times in her career. How much of an impact did the fact that this team competed 3 nights ago in this building have on tonight?
You know, like I said, they practiced. They did this intentionally. They scheduled it this way so they can emulate what's happening, will happen at regionals and hopefully at nationals. But it feels like the energy is a little bit lower. It's really hard on your body. And it's also, you know, 5 weeks into the academic quarter, you're at midterms. Everyone I know is sick right now as well. I know that sickness has been going through college gymnastics teams. So it's a test for your depth. Not only is it a physical test, though, it's a mental test for these athletes.
9-6 for Taylor DeVries. That is a half a tenth off of her first competitive floor routine. And so the Beavers certainly want to put a red line through that. And now Sage Thompson, the senior from Lehigh, Utah, had a 9.925 on bars earlier tonight.
She really has such technically sound tumbling. Very beautiful technique. And we see that pass a lot. But Sage just does it a little bit better, a little bit cleaner.
They've got some questions to answer now with the injury to Carly Chavez. We hope that she's not going to be out. Remains to be seen, but Chavez had a 9.825 on Friday, 9.875 3 weeks ago, and we saw the 9.6 by DeVries. So what will they do with that slot in the lineup?
Just nailed this double pike on Friday. See if she can get the landing. Beautiful, chest up, toes pointed. That is just a stunning double pike.
She was miles in the air.
And, you know, that she does 2 tumbling passes, so does the extra leaps for bonus there. But it is gorgeous. The full package Sage Thompson is, between the dance and the tumbling.
For a career high 9.9.
Double pike coming up, but what? I mean, the toes, the legs, the position in her tumbling. You could freeze frame that.
And that has to compare
Hardly find.
pretty favorably to her career high.
It should, yes. Now, whenever I feel like we say that, then the judges do see something different. They're at a different angle than we are. But I've just really loved watching her grow here, find her love for gymnastics. She really wanted to be more than just a bar worker, which is where she excelled so much at Utah.
Got a 9.9 from one judge. Mary McDonough, a Franklin, Tennessee native, sophomore for the Huskies, averaging 9.785 on vault.
They have yet to break 9.8 on vault. Mary, a little bit taller, and has a really pretty layout full vault. Normally, really beautiful position in the air.
She's their anchor. And in the meantime, Sophia Esposito, 4th in the lineup for Oregon State.
Front through to just a double pike. No back handspring. Awesome height. You don't have to do that back handspring if you can get enough power out of your round off like she can.
9-9 on Friday after a 9.85 in all 3 previous floor routines this year.
McDonough's vault, excellent. Just this hop back.
Mary McDonough on the left. Sophia Esposito now front and center.
She is also the package of power, height, but the leaps, the height and the execution on her leaps is really stunning. You know, it's this really powerful music, but with her toe point and extension, it looks graceful also. Front layout to the Rudy. Excellent landing. That was her first pass last year.
All right, Sophia Esposito, and that was on the heels of a career high tying 9-9 for Sage Thompson. That score coming in and being posted during Esposito's routine.
That last pass, front layout to the Rudy. She's stoked. Such a dynamic athlete. Also can be in the bar lineup. She's had just some lingering back issues that have bothered her more on bars than any other event, but it's an event where, you know, when she adds that back in, she is a really, really competitive all-arounder.
48.775 for the Washington Huskies on vault. That's just off their high this year of 48.85.
That awesome 9.85 from Mary McDonough gives her a new career high all-around score.
And again, if you're just joining us, Washington has only 9 gymnasts available because 7 are out with injury. Caitlin Garcia getting ready to go 5th in the lineup with Jade Cary to follow. And a 9.95 for Sophia Esposito. And that matches her career high. We've had 3 gymnasts in Oregon State's floor lineup match their career highs, and big celebration for Esposito.
Really
I love
deserved. Really awesome.
Sophomore from Melville, New York, and now one of their 3 captains, Caitlin Garcia.
Awesome height.
Oh, wow. 3 weeks ago, she had a career high 9.95 at home against San Jose State.
She is just packs such a powerful punch. Woo, almost too much on that straddle jump.
Elisa, we were talking about maybe there being a bit of a lack of energy in this building. It's as if they heard us because they are bringing the energy in this floor rotation.
Yeah, this Oregon State rotation, they are just so dynamic on floor. Kadiana Kell has done a really awesome job. Her height on this double tuck makes it look so easy.
2-pass routine.
2-pass routine. Ends with this double tuck. So much height.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, it is really, really fun.
Like those before her, Miller with a 9.9, Thompson with a 9.9, Esposito with a 9.95, all matching career highs. And now Caitlin Garcia, whose career high is a 9.95.
Yeah, crowds on their feet for a reason, because this is special. To land with your chest up that high. She did bend the knees a little bit extra there, but does a good job selling it. And we haven't talked yet. Yeah, we haven't talked yet about the stick chainsaw. Certainly the most, I think, the most unique stick thing out there. Although West Virginia has a plunger, a stick plunger that's a hat, which is a unique application of a plunger.
9.9 from one. Okay, the plunger's fine, but a chainsaw, how can you beat that?
Chainsaw. I wonder who gets to bring that on the plane. It's a special job for whomever gets to bring the chainsaw around.
Kadiana Kell, some final encouragement for Jade Cary as she anchors the floor lineup, as she anchors every lineup.
this first pass that she does is truly, truly special. The double twisting, double back.
Look at that.
Yeah, I want you to watch how she kicks out of it. And what I mean by that is on that second flip, she opens up with so much time to find the ground. You're supposed to open up out of any tuck or piked element. It doesn't always happen, but these Oregon State tumblers have so much height that we've seen it across the board.
Which pass is that?
That is pass number 1.
Okay. She has a trio of 9.95s this year, including on Friday. Also has a pair of 9.9s. New choreography in early December. This is 3-time Olympic medalist, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, Jade Cary.
And your last American winner of the gold on floor. Here's this double-double. And the kick out. It's a little bit of a big step back, almost goes over the line, but you can step on it. You just can't go over it. Did not see a flag up. Front pass here that she'll end with a beautiful Cezanne right there.
Beavers already have the 197 locked up. Can they beat their 197, 175 from Friday?
Beautiful float on those leaps. That has been a ubiquitous move in all of her floor routines. Double tuck or double pike to end. We'll see which one she goes with. Double tuck. Just a little bit of a adjustment with her back foot on that landing, but I'm being so picky because it's Jade Cary, because her level of precision is just so incredible. His first pass done first by Daniela Silavash. Double twisting, double back here. And right there, the kick out helps her find the landing, but woo! She could have kicked out a little bit earlier. Second pass required front tumbling element, and then the Cezanne done with such great control. Right in front of Athletic Director Scott Barnes. And again, just a little bit off. We talked about the second meet in a row in a long weekend. It can be hard for them, but this floor set for the Beavers was really special.
Yes, it was. Still awaiting Jade's score. Their high this year came on Friday, a 49.55. And she gets a 9.9, so 3 9.9s for Jade after the 9.875 on vault. She followed that up with 3 9.9s. 49.55 matches what they did on Friday, their season high. And it pushes them across 197.
Huge floor score there, but well-deserved because they're tumbling. I mean, the whole package is fantastic, but their tumbling is so strong, so powerful. They land so well. And I really think they took Kadiana Kell, their floor coach's charge, to heart. Keep it up and step it up. Raise the bar. They wanted to have their chest up higher on landings, and I think they nailed that.
And when you look at Jade Cary, the 9.875 and 3 9.9s, that is an excellent all-around, but it's not up to what she would normally do. And yet, 197.325 is their second best score this year to the 197.6 they had here at home 4 weeks ago.
And I said that off the top, that they still have room to grow. They have yet to put together 24 of their absolute best routines at the same time. And that's okay because it is early February. They've got a lot of time on the road to continue to hone their craft. And again, really that first week in April, this NCAA regional is so important for their postseason hopes.
Avery Tillman's an exhibition on beam for Alaska Anchorage. Tillman's a sophomore from Martinsville, Saskatchewan.
Good save on the full turn. I like her doing that with the top leg straight. You can do that full turn in any sort of leg position. Side aerial, she's got to keep moving and connect that into the side. So we love that connection, really difficult. They have undoubtedly the most geographically broad lineup. You have Saskatchewan, you have Guatemala, you have Jamaica, you've got Ontario, you have Mexico, New Zealand, Hawaii, all coming to Alaska.
And as we've discussed, they've also got the most frequent flyer miles.
Absolutely. Here's her gainer. Step forward. Just a few errors in there, but I love the difficulty and unique elements in that routine. They do a lot of 2 meet weekends, like we said. They go on the road.
Jane with a hug for Carly Chavez. Has let the air out of the balloon. Chavez coming up with an injury on her vault.
Really, really painful. Injuries are such an unfortunate part of the sport. She's, you know, standing next to Sydney Gonzalez, who we watched have an Achilles tear in front of us last year. It is just so hard to see.
And we, of course, don't know the extent of Chavez's apparent left knee injury. Senior from Clovis, California.
She's worked so hard to make the floor and vault lineups on this stacked team.
Her final year of college gymnastics. Let's have another look at what happened to her on vault.
So this Yurchenko 1.5, she debuted it at Auburn and unfortunately was still twisting when she landed. And you could tell right away that that was a rough injury to her left knee. So hard on, obviously, the whole team, senior leader for them.
Yeah, they're going to miss her in the vault and floor lineups. Carly Chavez, if indeed she is unable to continue.
Claudia Lessig in the exhibition spot. Just gorgeous flexibility on that switch leap to back tuck.
Sophomore from Spring, Texas, near Houston. Claudia Lessig for Alaska Anchorage.
Competed at World Champions Center, the gym owned by Simone Biles, or excuse me, run by her mom, but everyone knows it as Simone's gym. And I really like that handstand in to the gainer fold.
By the way, the 197.325 for Oregon State tonight bumps their average up to 196.875, which would bump them from 10th to 9th in the season averages, just ahead of Mizzou. There it is, 197.325. They knock off the Washington Huskies. Huskies now part of the Big Ten. And if you're not really familiar with college gymnastics, that point-and-a-half victory for Oregon State is like winning by 3 touchdowns. And again, 197.325, their second best score this year after the 197.6. And Jade Cary with a 9.875 on vault and then 3 9.9s.
There's her 1.5 vault. Just the tiniest hop forward.
I thought it should have scored better.
Yeah, I definitely thought it should have scored better. She has very, very few deductions in the air. And again, the new look bar routine that she debuted on Friday, just the hack salto instead of the fall, and gets a balance deduction there, balance check on her dismount. And this triple series, the front aerial to back handspring layout, one of the most difficult being done. And then the hop back on her gainer. Just a little bit off her game on landings.
But a full 10th off her game? Was that a 9-9 or should it have been maybe a 9-9-2-5? That's quibbling.
Yeah, if they were being picky, there was a minor balance check of her arm after her series. And then,
so minor.
Yeah, just these minor things where what I don't like is being pickier on her than they are on other athletes, which I do think her vault was judged more harshly than the other vaulters because she's so much better.
39.575. Well, that is 1/10 off of her score on Friday. And it's 3/10 off her career high, 39.875. Jade Cary winning the all-around. We'll be back and wrap it up from Corvallis. Another good team score for Oregon State. Teams receiving their awards after this tri-meet here at Oregon State. And 197.325 for the Beavers, their second best this year. In Washington, 195.7. And that is above their average of 195.075. Again, the team beset by injuries. 197.75 for Alaska Anchorage. Not as good as they did here on Friday when they had a 191.825.
Really?
And again, a 39.575 for Jade, and winning the all-around.
Yeah, good practice for them, though, to get this two-meet weekend under their belt, to know now what they need to do in the future two-meet weekend scenarios to really feel energetic physically, but also mentally dialed in for that second day of competition. The second day of competition in regionals is the most important one. It's the one that propels you to nationals. So that's that first weekend in April. They'll either compete on, hopefully if they make it to the second day, that's either April 5th or 6th at one of the 4 regional sites. So that is what OSU's goal is, and they are capable of doing it. They just need to put 24 of their best routines together on the right day.
And I think they showed what they can do with that floor rotation. Again, it was a 49.55, matching their season high from Friday. They brought some energy here 3 days after having competed on Friday. So if they can do that here, come those regionals, they can do well that second day.
Yeah, and you saw they have so many 10-0 start value options on vault. They just need to clean up those landings. They're still trying to hone in on the bar lineup that gets them the maximum score, but they have a lot of depth there to choose from as well. The back end of the lineup gets incredible scores. They just need to figure out who in the front lineup is going to reliably deliver a 985 plus every week. And then Beam is Beaver Beam. That's exceptional. And then we watched 2 days in a row that floor lineup is so special, and even reeling after from the loss of Carly Chavez. Just really impressed with what they did today.
Sophia Esposito had a 995 on floor, and that matched her career high.
Her precision on the tumbling, the height is matched by her leaps. She dances across the OSU beams. I also really like the front head spring bounce there that she does. But I just think that she is coming into her own in her sophomore year. The presentation level just improves every time she's out on the floor.
And we're joined by Sophia Esposito, and we're going to talk about your night tonight. But first things first, we wanted to discuss the injury to your teammate Carly Chavez. We certainly don't know the extent of it, and like you and your teammates, we certainly wish her well. How's she doing right now?
I'm not too sure what happened, but it seems like something with her knee. She's doing okay right now. We're giving all the support we can, and hopefully she's okay.
Yes, we certainly hope so. Take us through your floor routine, matching your career high with a 995. Kind of continued what others before you had done. You were the third different person to match your career high. What was your mindset going in?
I was really confident. I've been working really hard in the gym to get my landings down and pointing my toes in my leaps and making my legs as straight as possible. So every 10th really counts, and it showed today, and hard work really paid off.
Your vaults are looking spectacular as well. Is that a place where you think you'll put in the upgrade anytime this year?
Yeah.
Coach said you've been training a different vault.
Yeah, right now I'm just doing a full, but I've been training a 1.5, but right now I'm going back to a double to see if I can get some landings on the harder landings. So my goal is to do a double by the end of the year.
We've been discussing the importance come April of that second day of the regionals, and that's what propels you into the NCAA championship. So you had 2 meets in a 4-day span. How difficult was it coming back after Friday to bring that energy that you brought to your final routines tonight?
It's not so difficult. You just have to really take care of your body on your day off and really hydrate and do all the treatments you can. And I think it was really good practice for us for the future. Yeah, I think we did great. It's not as difficult.
So the Beaver Beam lineup has been so spectacular. Can you talk about the mindset that you all have on Beam?
None of us are really nervous. I mean, a lot of us are nervous, but we really can contain it and control it, and that's what we work on in the gym a lot, and we do a lot of numbers, and we really do our mental choreography, and it really, really helps to do that. We all believe in each other, and we have a lot of trust in each other.
This is why gymnasts are so good at anything else they try after their careers are over. And Tanya Chaplin really talks about when she gets a gymnast under her tutelage, she wants them to be able to transition to the rest of their lives. Now, you being a sophomore, you got a lot more time here at Oregon State. What are your thoughts on that and what she brings for what's going to happen to you after your career is done?
I don't really know. That's a tough question. Right now, I'm just living in the moment and really just here for the experience, and I really love it.
And the crowds here are fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. It definitely brings up the energy level a lot, and it is a lot of fun, and that's really what made my floor routine so fun, is all the energy the crowd gave me.
All right, well, we found it fun as well. You're a joy to watch, Sophia.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great meet. Good luck to the Beavers over your next 4 weeks on the road. All right, so we got 4 weeks on the road, and National qualifying scores coming out. For those of you who don't know, you take your top 6 scores from the year, 3 of which have to be on the road. You throw the top 1 out, and then you average the next 5. And that's what your ranking is heading into the region.
And they have a 195 score that's going to show up in their first NQS rankings, as I mentioned earlier. And so they're going to dip in the rankings, but inevitably, with how strong they are mentally, they're going to put up some great 197s across these next road meets that will keep them, I think, close to the top 10. And as they continue to hone and refine those lineups on bars, figure out the vaulters. I mean, hearing that Sophia is experimenting not with the 1.5, but with the double, that's awesome. Jade did the double last year. She wanted to try something new with the 1.5. So that many 10-0 start value vaults is something that the top few teams in the country are doing. Oregon State has the potential. They also have the national team vault coach in Brian Carey. He coaches the national team both on vault and on floor. He was just named the national team coach a couple weeks ago. So really stupendous coaching that they have that's showing up for them on the power events of vault and floor.
Yep, indeed. And vault and bars where they need to clean a few things up to really get into those top 8 come that second day of regionals in April.
And they can do it, but those meets are so intense. You have to hit on the right day, and I think that the Beavers have a great shot at that.
Yep, looking to make the NCAA finals for the first time since 2019. It's been a great weekend here at Oregon State. The Beavers had a pair of tri-meets, and they hit 197 a couple of times, including their second best score of the year, 196.375 tonight in this tri-meet. Our Senior VP of Business Development is Michael Molinari, VP and Coordinating Producer Bob Schmelsley. For Producer David Feldman, Director Jeff Butler, Technical Director John DeLustro, and for Elisa Mao, I'm Rich Burke. That's it from Corvallis.